others. He is currently rocking the charts, this massive release, Swala. So there he is coming to Kenya. A lot of girls waiting for him. I'm sure
you say guys are waiting.
No, I said girls. I'm not sure guys, but
am I talking? Am I talking? Just say I'm not talking. I'm not talking. I'm not talking. I'm not talking.
But
so
yeah, first of all, I think I'd like to start with you, Virani, because it's interesting now that you're seeing all these big stars and big artists coming into the country. Before we had a lot of complaints, because these guys used to go to Uganda and Tanzania and not even step into Kenya. What's changing this time?
Actually, I'm more concerned that we are not giving our own local artists the same treatment. Like, I'm going to tell Stephen, what's your favorite actor in Kenya? See what I mean? Adhiambo, let's get, who's your favorite actress in Kenya?
My favorite actress?
Yes.
In Kenya?
Yeah.
I don't have any. Actually,
Mine is Lizzie.
No,
we can't.
I'm sorry. I don't have.
So, I mean, so my issue is more like how we treat each other as Kenyans is more my problem than, okay, great. So
we don't mind them.
We
have no problem. I just haven't seen one.
Great destination for international acts recently. But I don't see any reason why our local acts are not given the same treatment. I want to see Naiboy. I want to see Naiboy headlining those shows.
On one hand, he has a point, but
I
want to jump in there. When the locals have their issues, and Pulse magazine here giving them, 24 pages every day of platform to come and say what they have to say about themselves. I think that's a bit off for me. But again, local actors and all that, I know that people like George Orido are watching, and they always want to pitch for the local actors and musicians and all that. That's a good thing. But again, when we just up the game, like now we have internationals coming, and like we had last weekend when Omarion was there, so many local acts are performing there, and sometimes we just need to lean back and learn something from these guys because they've been there, are more exposed than we are, and from there we can take it up. And it's not like our local artists are not doing good. We have many guys we are exporting right now. So I don't think we're doing so badly as such.
But how long do we stop learning from other people and start giving our people that chance? But then again, Virani, these guys are getting gigs, going out and performing, and then not getting paid later on. So even that's morale on their part. Even as an organizer, I don't want to invite you if you're going to bring me problems of not being paid later. So I think it's a lot of internal problems that still need to be solved. But your thoughts on this? Should we give these guys a wide berth and start having concerts in China South?
No, I think we've said this before. You learn from the best. And anybody who wants to close their eyes to learning just because you want to consume what is good, what is yours, then I don't know where you're coming from. You see, for example, when you eat your mother's food only, you think she's the best cook in the world.
and she is,
until, of course, you eat other foods and you realize, OMG, this is not how, her food is not necessarily...
I don't know if anybody says that about their mom.
No, I'm saying, if you're only consuming what is here, you will never understand what else is out there. And you can be better when you learn from the best. By association, by getting the best, then you become the best. There is absolutely nothing wrong with us having the rulers of this world. But as you say, our acts will be there, and they are there. Right. Solo himself was there last week.
Yeah, Solo's everywhere.
So Solo was there.
Yeah, I'm learning. Yeah,
you're learning, isn't it?
Yeah. Even as you learn, what then can Kenyan artists and Kenyan acts and actors learn from these international acts?
As she said, you learn from the best, and you never stop learning because, life is that progressive journey. And what Kenyan artists need to understand is when we have foreign acts coming into Kenya, you're getting a platform, you're getting an opportunity. If you're fast enough, then you grab it and you take away with it. We just had Etana coming down with the Richie Spice the other day. He's already done, Aseda has already done a
collabo. It's so awesome.
It's already out.
Yes, it's out.
Wow. I saw Sauti Sol talking to Omarion and just getting to learn a few things. Can we be able to do this, or how do you get away with this? I like your performance. We have to agree that we have a very long way to go. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So let us not try and act like we are good enough. Let us not appreciate these other people because we have our own. No, we learn from the best. We never stop learning. If you get the opportunity and grab it,
go with it.
Go with it.
All right, Virani, let me give you the final word on this one.
Sure. Absolutely no doubt about the learning. That's perfect. I was at the show with Damian Miley, and all the acts performed, Waire performed, smashing show. Yes. Calligraph Jones, Juakali, legendary stuff, man. I mean, obviously people don't hear about him as often anymore, but you give the boy a mic, he go burn the place down. And definitely when Damien's band came on, and just like the bass and the drum, it was so tight, it could have been a CD. And that went...
No, it was. By the way, truly there.
And then it was so tight. It was like I was sitting there when like very experienced musicians were there, and it's like,
you thought it's hit?
What? It's like what just changed?
He
did it like
it's recorded.
But it's a cultural issue. It's a cultural issue. You don't understand that in Jamaica, in West Africa, in Central Africa, South Africa, like people are selling music instruments in the market next to tomatoes, next to fish. It's a part of day-to-day life. Music is, when people are practicing mtani pale, like, you're walking by, you see past Solo's house, Solo is just practicing his drums, it's just normal. When you go to countries like Togo, when you go to Côte d'Ivoire, Cameroon, it's like that. And in Kenya, for many years, the arts industry, music, acting, the whole lot was given a bit of a second-grade status in society. And I'm happy that this is changing, and the international acts are helping with that. When it comes to acting, Sense8 was shot here for 2 seasons.
Right.
And artists were very well paid.
Yes.
I have seen guys in Lexuses and just wonderful cars, and it's just beautiful to see.
So it's good for them. So we're making progress.
So we are making progress. But I still have issues with the fact that local talent, top local talent, are not given the same status as international stars. And this is not excusable in any way.
All right,
this
of course, that's a valid concern,
yes,
of course.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to something else and talk about Kanye West for a moment. So Kanye West is a Marmite kind of character. Fans love him. Cynics, however, think he's an egotistical parasite.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's no denying that during his career, he has provided many little gems that are now known as some of the most Kanye things to ever have happened. Whether it's attacking a president or styling himself as Jesus, there's never a shortness of banter when it comes to Kanye, and he just turned 40. So Kanye's 40 years old, guys. Okay. I can't stress that enough.
What in the
and
name
he's still
of
walking
Kanye?
around in clothes that look they were eaten by
No.
mice.
He's age mates with most of the guys on this panel, apart from me.
Not really, no. Really, Kanye, I don't really care that Kanye is 40. I don't even care that Kanye is Kanye. I think that Kanye just does so many Kanye things, so that is why there's even a Kanye thing about it.
I mean, your ego cannot get bigger than Kanye's ego. But
Kanye.
yeah, so he's 40. Not much to say about it, but
he's still running for president, I think.
Is he?
He's running for president.
Which country is he running for president?
Which country can have a president like that? Which one?
Only Trump.
Only Trump.
After Trump, it's Kanye.
In Trump's America.
Yeah, that's confirmed.
You can come down our village where we had those, and they still have the school uniform. You can make some fashion out of it.
From Trump to Kanye. Americans must be quite something. So yeah, that's it. And I'd like to move on now to our Pulse and Nairobian. Let's move away from Kanye, but let's take a look at the Pulse. And Stevens is here. Interesting picture on the first page.
You're looking at the cover,
It's
like
awesome. I told you.
so you can display it.
I told you.
Let me do the honors, please.
Yeah, so quite an interesting cover on the first page. I keep asking Stevens, what does it take?
Wants to hold it.
It takes a Michelle just to be a cover girl, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting that this one is a little better.
Michelle, is that you?
But no, that's not me.
It's quite. It's not Michelle.
I wouldn't pose like that. But let's move away from that. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Let's move on to page 6 of the
Such
Pulse.
an honor to hold this.
And Lupita breaks the internet. So Lupita is breaking the internet again on social media with a post on Tuesday. So she released a fabricated, after an American news site released a fabricated story on her, and the Kenyan star took it on the chin and instead turned the limelight on it. Stevens, what's this story about?
I mean, we saw this video, and too bad we didn't have it here. But we're just talking about Lupita after the kind of fabricated news, and that's something us Kenyans would not take it. And again, I mean, she's one of our own, and we saw her growing here and doing all the theater work.
So first of all, for our viewers, the news was that Lupita Nyong'o was HIV positive.
Yes,
that was the news from an American news website. And of course, her family was very angry. Her herself was very angry to that. But how did she react?
I mean, family reacts and she moves on with life. And I think that's why they were just posting this little video of the Koze Kuze, which was shot in South Africa. We saw her dancing all those little things and all that. But the point is that it's very hard to kind of like shut Lupita from the limelight now with all those things, the Rihanna movie coming and stuff like that. Sometimes people thought, oh, is this vibe about getting her in the limelight and warming up towards the movie and all that? I don't think it was one thing. But again, supporting our very own, and again, whatever Lupita touches seems to work, whether it's a dance or...
Oh, and talking about what Lupita touches, she's a founding member of Kenya Actors Guild.
Just putting it out there.
Keep that legacy going.
Does she fund you guys? Does she send something?
She will notice that you're on her side.
I've just taken office, so I send her an email and see how that goes.
From there. So that is the situation with Lupita. But page 10 of the Pulse also has an interesting article on gospel dates. And this is interesting. So we have Bahati here. So we have Bahati and what is her name? Diana Marua.
Michelle, can we... As we get to that, which is our big read today,
yes, this is
I just want to take it back just to page 8, or things we're just talking about here, and Africa becoming the center of the future of music and all that. And that's what we were talking about before this, page 8 for that matter. Many Americans coming to shoot their videos and movies here and all that. And the question is, what do we learn from this? And that's what we had been talking about. I mean, these guys are using local scenes. Like this French Montana was in Uganda, and you saw the video and all that.
Shot in the
using
slum.
just the village local scenes just to make great videos, and you just think, how much do we make use of what Africa is as native and as virgin as it is, to make ourselves get to the world and be known as it is? And so that's the story Pulse is talking about, breaking it down on facing Africa and Africa being the future. And so what are Africans doing about their very own?
Right. I mean, there's a few African musicians who've done quite well. Just look at the likes of Diamond, for example. He's done quite well for himself, a lot of collabos. But we don't have much time, so let's move on to that big story on page 10.
We're not talking about the prayer partners anymore, because prayer partners is now overrated.
Because I thought this is what it's about.
It's not prayer anymore, guys.
It's party.
It's party time. And we just expose it now.
Playtime.
It's party and play.
Yeah.
I mean, today Pulse just goes big and just sort of exposes couples, gospel couples, young guys who some of them are cohabiting, some of them are living together, of course, without having to legitimize anything. And the question is, coming from where we're coming from, traditional church, to current situation, is this right or wrong? It's for guys to pick the paper.
That's another question. I mean, must you be born again to be a gospel musician? That's another question that we need to ask, because a lot of this, sometimes people say, do what I do and do what I say and not what I do. I mean, even when you go to church, I mean, we have so many of our pastors and priests being implicated in so many scandals. And so it's a very thin line as to whether you must be born again to be a gospel artist, or it's for the money in the country, because many secular artists at the end of the day have rebranded to be gospel artists. Is this a business, so to speak? So a lot of questions we ask.
Let me tell you, Michelle, when it comes to these guys who are calling themselves gospel, even my prayer would reach faster.
You're a prayer partner. So you're prayer partner. That's it. Find yourself a prayer partner first, so then we'll talk about your prayers.
No,
it's a good thing that they're coming out and bold enough to say, yes, this is my partner, and I don't see anything wrong. But on that question, on whether you must be a gospel, you must be a Christian, a saved Christian, to date someone who is from either another religion, I think it's just a cloud we force ourselves into. I think a partner is a partner. I don't see anything wrong with me dating a Christian.
Partner.
But there's also the fact that
because I can tell my partner, you sleep, I'm going to my
out,
party.
I'm going out.
But when you're a gospel artist that everybody is looking up to provide this direction in terms of where I'm going with my spirituality, and when you're young, then the people looking up to you are rather young, and their parents also expect you to be giving that guidance. So these issues of cohabiting before marriage or bringing out prayer partners, being seen in not very decent clubs where people don't have many of their clothes. It raises a lot, or any of their
clothes missing.
People left the rest of their outfit at home. I mean, it raises a lot of questions as to the responsibility when you're at that level. You know,
I agree with you 202% on that. Like I said, even my prayer, itafikia Mungu kabla ya hao.
I just leave it for the guys.
And then Solo is on page 17 of Pulse, by the way, with Omarion all over him.
Oh, yes, Solo is there. Just those who are missing.
They got us.
Oh, yes.
You're famous. Congratulations.
These are
All right, let's wind up with the Nairobian. And gosh, on page 22, G-string degrees. You guys have no chills whatsoever. So campus girls by day and strippers by night. That is a story on page 22.
Yes.
But let's touch on the front page. Why Mumia's sugar boss was killed. It's a sad story. We've been discussing this with the police boss earlier on as to the issues of these extrajudicial killings. But the Nairobian seems to have a totally different story as to what happened. So
as always, the splash, this one, why Mumia's sugar boss was killed. It was a brutal murder that occurred just a few days ago, but as investigations are revealing, this one is being dragged into a love triangle and also probably political interference. This was the company secretary to Mumia's sugar, and you know, he had one of the wives who's also been dragged in the love triangle, has been saying that in the recent past he's been getting a lot of verbal and textual threats to his life, to a point that he was almost resigning from the Mumia's sugar. And also dragged into the same mess is Mumia's East MP, Ben Washiali, who has said the allegations that he had written to Mumia's company asking for 10 million shillings to support his campaign for re-election in the forthcoming elections.
Right.
But he has distanced himself into this one. It's quite a revealing story.
A long, muddled story. So that's page 4
yes.
Of the paper. So do grab your copy of the Nairobian for that. Page 14, an axis of evil where thugs are cops' playmates. So we have pictures here of Nairobi's prettiest gang who was shot dead. That is Claire Njoki, her best friend, a week later was also shot dead, and several other gang members. And we're seeing the rise of gangs, especially with young youth and more so girls in these gangs.
That one was came out as quite a shocker to many people. But when we're talking about axis of evil, we're talking about some of these estates and some of these hoods where even the police themselves know they're in danger. There has been this very popular police officer called Hesi wa Islando or Hesi wa Kayole, who is said to be intimidating thugs by posting photos of, warning them, killing them, and then posting
following
photos,
up later,
of this and warning other thugs out there that this one could be coming. But what is even more shocking is a revealing story of one boda boda rider who was shot at Kayole, and he used to operate just outside the police station. But they never knew. He used to be sent over, probably take court documents, because, when there's traffic and they have to maneuver. But they were only later shocked to see that he's been armed and he's been disguising himself as a boda boda rider. Then he was a very...
So police have been using a thug, a gang member, as a messenger, so to speak.
Oh
I mean,
God.
gosh, it's a muddle situation here.
Chilling.
So also do grab your copy of the Nairobian. That is page 14 and 15. It's a conversation that needs to be had when it comes to thugs, gangs, and their relationship with the police. But guys, that brings us to a close on our hot topics. Thank you for being with us. Amin Virani, treasurer of the Kenya Actors Guild. We also have Solomon Koko, is a writer for the Pulse in Nairobian. Adhiambo Odera is a pop culture specialist. And Stevens Mwendo is an editor for the Pulse magazine. And that brings us to a close on our hot topics review. But we also have DJ Darkchild here in studio with our Flashback Friday. So let's have a little music from the DJ.
For those of you that think that gospel music has gone too far, you think we've gotten too radical with our message. Well, I got news for you. You ain't heard nothing yet. Too radical with our message. Well, I got news for you. You ain't heard nothing yet. And if you don't know, now you know. Glory, glory.
Dark Child.
You better put them hands together and act like you know up in here. Chief Pete.
Lately I've been going through something that's really got me down.
Put your hands together. Come on.
I need someone, somebody to help me come and turn my life around.
I feel like having some church up in here. Come on, chat.
I can't explain it. I can't obtain it. Jesus, your love is so, it's so amazing.
Fire, baby.
It gets me high up to the sky.
Hallelujah.
And when I think about your goodness, it makes me wanna stop.
You can't take my joy, devil. Makes me clap.
Makes me clap my hands. Makes me wanna dance and stop.
Oh, you better put them hands together and have a Holy Ghost party with me.
Brother, can't you see? I've got the victory. Stop.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I'm more than a conqueror. Can I get a witness up in here?
Fire, baby.
What? On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit, gotta get jiggy with it. Ooh, that's it, now honey, come ride. DKNY, all up in my eye. You got a Prada bag with a lot of stuff in it. Give it to your friend, let's spin. Everybody looking at me, glancing a kid. Wishing they was dancing a jig here with this handsome kid. Sick a cigar right from Cuba Cuba. I just bite it, it's for the look, I don't light it.
Now, hear this.
You make it feel like foreplay. Yo, my cardio
hear this.
Big Willie Styles all in it, getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. Getting jiggy with it. What? You want the ball with yeah. Miami.
Original and incredible.
South Beach, bringing the heat. Can y'all feel that? Can y'all feel that? Jig it out. Here I am in the place where I come let go. In Miami, the bass and the sunset low. Every day like a Mardi Gras. Everybody party all day. No work, all play, okay? So we sip a little something, leave the rest to spill. Me and Charlie at the bar running up a high bill. Nothing less than ill when we dress to kill. Every time the ladies pass, they be like, and y'all feel me? All ages and races, real sweet faces. Every different nation, Spanish, Haitian, Indian, Jamaican, black, white, Cuban, or Asian. I only came for 2 days of playing, but every time I come, I always wind up staying. This the type of town I can spend a few days in. Miami, the city that keeps the roof blazing.
Party in the city where the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
Bouncing in the club where the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
I'm going to Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
Yo, I heard the rainstorms ain't nothing to mess with, but I can't feel a drip on the strip. It's a trip. Ladies half dressed, full of your quip, and they be screaming out,
Well, we loved you last year.
so I'm thinking I'ma scoop me something hot in this South Submarine Gay Mountain Pot. Hottest club in the city, and it's right on the beach. Temperature, get the it's about to reach 500 degrees in the Caribbean cities with the hot mommies screaming. Every time I come to town, they be spotting me in the drop Bentley, ain't no stopping me. So cash in your dough and flow to this fashion show, pound for pound. Anywhere you go, yo, ain't no city in the world like this. And if you ask how I know, I got the feeling.
Miami.
The city where the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami.
Bouncing in the club where the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
I'm going to Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
I never knew there was a love like this before. Never had someone to show me a love like this before. We can dance, clap your hands, all night. If you're in the mood, do what you wanna do. easy to do it. Just enjoy yourself, right? Get your groove on. Take your time. Take your time. Ain't nothing but a party. We can dance all night long. Do what you want. Dance all night long.
The Dark Child.
Now, hear this.
So far from
Now hear this.
Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime. The night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still.